it is my distinct pleasure to ask you to help me welcome Mayor Stephanie Piko. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. This is quite overwhelming to have everybody here today. I was really thrilled to see what kind of response we got for this event. So thank you very much. And thank you for taking time out of your day to be here. We have a lot of innovative stories to share with you. Jake just mentioned Centennial's involvement with the Smart Cities Alliance, an important opportunity for us to connect with the public and private sector partners to share innovative ideas and discuss how to make things happen. So please keep that in mind while Centennial shares its stories with you today. But before we get started, I'd like to take a moment and introduce and thank a few people. Well, actually, quite a lot of people, so hang in there. So first off, many thanks to the Rotary Club President, John Berry, today's event committee, and the Embassy Suites for hosting us again this year. And I would ask for a special round of applause for the staff that is working here today that is bringing us this great meal. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our City Council. If they could stand as I call them, and if you could please hold your applause till I get through all of them. Councilmember Kathleen Turley, Councilmember Candace Moon, Councilmember Carrie Penalosa, Councilmember Tammy Maurer, Councilmember and Mayor Pro Tem Ken Lucas, Councilmember Marlo Alston, and Councilmember Ron Weidman. Thank you. I look forward to the years ahead of working with you all. Did I miss Mike? And Councilmember Mike Sutherland, I'm so sorry. Go to the list. I look forward to the years ahead of working with all of you, and I also appreciate the fact that I know that you realize how much it takes to put an event like this together, and know you appreciate the time and effort that's gone into doing it as well. So thank you. I'd like to welcome and thank a few more people, starting with our new city manager, Matt Sturgeon, who's attending his first Centennial State of our city, and Matt has been with the city with us since June of last year. We also have our city attorney, Bob Widener, our deputy city attorney, Maureen Duran, and all of our staff and contractors that work for the city of Centennial. I'd like to recognize the other elected officials in the room, and if you could please hold your applause. We have Mayor Jackie Millay from Lone Tree, Mayor Ron Rakowski, and George Lance of Greenwood Village, I think he's still here. Arapahoe County Commissioners Nancy Sharp, Kathleen Conti, Jeff Baker, Bill Holen, and Nancy Jackson. We have Arapahoe County Clerk and Recorder Matt Crane, County Treasurer Sue Sandstrom, and County Assessor Mark Scott. Thank you very much. As I introduce the next attendees, I want to say how important Centennial's relationship is with them. We recognize that newcomers, when they are considering where to move their families, the safety of our community and the quality of our schools are the priorities for those families. Our public safety and education partners make Centennial better. Please help me thank South Metro Fire Chief Bob Baker, Assistant Chief Jerry Rhodes, Littleton Chief Chris Armstrong, and Arapahoe County Sheriff Dave Walsher. This year, Cunningham and South Metro merged, creating one fire district that is connecting our community. Connecting these two fire districts is nothing but remarkable, and Littleton and Highlands Ranch will be following suit and merging with South Metro next year. The Regional Crime Lab that is under construction is a great example of a collaborative partnership between Arapahoe and Douglas counties and the City of Centennial and the City of Aurora. Sheriff Dave Walsher was the leading advocate for this facility. It is set to be complete this year, and will provide cutting-edge technology to continue to keep Centennial and the entire South Metro area one of the safest places in Colorado. Littleton Public Schools and Cherry Creek School District continue to raise the bar for education in the state of Colorado. We are very fortunate to have such outstanding districts in the boundaries of Centennial. Both districts have highly ranked STEM programs and continue to challenge our students every day. We are fortunate that these two districts help us create a well-connected community. Please help me in welcoming Cherry Creek School Board member Dave Willman, Superintendent Harry Bull and his leadership team, as well as Littleton Public School Board members Kelly Perez, Jim Stevens, Carrie Warren Gully, and Littleton Superintendent Brian Ewert, and the members of his leadership team. Thank you for being here today. Those who know the unique relationships this area has with special districts. Their strength and dedication to serve the citizens helps Centennial be a successful community by providing uniquely targeted services and needed services to our residents. Thank you to the special districts representatives who are in attendance today. Arapahoe Library District, Arapahoe County Water and Wastewater Authority, Parker Jordan Metro District, the Southeast Metro Stormwater Authority, and the South Suburban Parks and Recreation District. Thank you all. We also have terrific partnerships and collaboration and cooperation with our Aurora and South Metro Denver Chamber of Commerce's. And we share that equal interest with the Denver South Economic Development Partnership. Please thank them for being here today. Economic activity continues in a positive trend. Employment in Centennial grew nearly 3% from 2016 to 2017, adding close to 2,000 new jobs. I'd also like to recognize our citizen volunteers that spend their time serving as members on our city boards and commissions, such as the Fiberworks Commission, the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Youth Commission, the Election Commission, the Audit, Investment, and Budget Committees, the Board of Review, the Open Space Advisory Board, and our Senior Commission. They do this for the love of their community. Let's give them a round of applause. So we have all heard a lot about the challenges related to population growth in our region. There's one organization in particular that has doubled in size in 2018 already. They call themselves the former mayors of Centennial. So finally, Randy Pye has a cohort and a partner in his club. So I would like to thank, although Randy Pye is not here with us today, to thank Randy and Kathy Noon for their dedication to making Centennial what it is today. I'd also like to add one last thank you to my husband, Jim. It's been quite a ride so far, and some days we might ask, are we there yet? But I thank you for your encouragement and support. Okay, now the good stuff. So the one thing campaigning for mayor does is extend you the opportunity to meet an extraordinary number of people in our community with very diverse backgrounds. As I expressed to them my connection to Centennial, it was truly enjoyable to find out what their connection to Centennial was. I would like to thank the Rotary Club for connecting us all together today to highlight how the connections within our community and our region provide us with the exciting opportunity to build collaborative partnerships that not only strengthen our community, but provide our residents and businesses with pride in calling Centennial home. As each of us tell our story of why we are here and what we are doing as part of the Centennial community, it is the excitement of opportunity that connects us. 18 years ago, there was definitely excitement in the opportunity to create a different vision of government, a vision that continues to drive Centennial in looking for innovative, collaborative, and exciting solutions for the challenges that we face. This has led us into the Smart Cities Alliance and initiatives such as investments in intelligent transportation systems, the construction of a fiber backbone, the Connecting with the Smart Cities Alliance, where we are working with other cities and private sector partners throughout the state and metro area to make us future ready. That's for you, Ken. In 2018, you will see Centennial connecting our community through the finalization of several outreach plans. They include the Centennial Center Park Plan, the East-West Trail connection connecting the Highline Canal to the Piney Creek Trail, the Lone Tree Trail connection connecting Centennial Center Park to the Cherry Creek State Park, and our comprehensive plan, Centennial Next. I'd love to take this opportunity to show you some highlights of how we are connected in 2018. Another great thing about being mayor is being able to bring people's attention to the great things that are going on in our community. I love being able to share and connect people within our community to the businesses, charities, and organizations that are doing amazing work. Like Allosource, right here in Centennial, the world leader of providing skin allografts for burn survivors. IKEA, who even though a big corporate company, works with local charities to raise money for local veterans. Like Highlands Garden Center, that works with the children at Homestead Elementary School to make a community garden. And our very own Rotary Club, selling beer at Centennial events since 2012. We appreciate all they do for our community. Centennial's innovation leads to innovative partnerships that not only benefit individuals and businesses, but the community and the environment. An exciting example of that is the partnership between a local brewery and a global Centennial partner, Jacobs Engineering and Lost Highway Brewing Company.
More people are moving to the arid west in Colorado, California, Arizona. The water demands are going up, but there isn't more water available. So we have to find an alternative water supply, and that alternative water supply is local here. It's our wastewater effluent that we discharge every day. And we have the technology to purify it, not perfectly, it's perfectly safe. We've been doing it for many decades, but it's just becoming more common now. It will be a common water supply in the future. We take what's called wastewater effluent from the wastewater treatment plants, and that's our starting point for our advanced treatment processes. It then goes through, in this particular case, there's lots of different technologies you can use, but what we used for this event was what's called microfiltration membranes, extremely fine pores that remove all the pathogens and particulate matter in the water. So it passes through there, and then it goes through reverse osmosis membranes. It removes a lot of the dissolved constituents down to the molecular level, so you're removing even sodium and chloride ions from the water, as well as any remaining organics or pathogens. Then there's another barrier, it's called ultraviolet light disinfection with advanced oxidation. So this is just like belt and suspenders. You really don't need all these processes, but the idea is a multi-barrier purification process. So that's the next step. And then finally it goes on to what's called granular activated carbon absorption. So 4 distinct, very impressive treatment processes to purify the water. And then it's provided to the brewer.
First of all, Marza is German. but we put the Belgian take on it, so that was one aspect to it. And then the fact that where does this water come from, where did you get it from, was intriguing to people, and they're like, I gotta try this beer. It becomes reclaimed water, you know, and so it kind of came like more of a talking point, and then we added the case of water that they gave us to let the consumer see the difference between what it really tasted like prior to, and then now it's beer, and you can't tell the difference. And so I think more than anything, it was an extremely important talking piece, educational piece to the consumer. We did ask them for the breakdown of the water, and it was so purified that it was like, yeah, I think we're good, you know?
The biggest issue in implementing this project is the public perception. We have the science, we have the technology, we know the water is extremely safe. All we're doing is speeding up Mother Nature's process of purifying the water through the water cycle. So that's all we're doing is speeding it up. And what I'd like to see from this is just more of an education of the public on how safe and effective recycling of water is, purifying the water. Cheers.
Cheers.
And beer.
So we probably should have had a disclaimer prior to that video saying, for all you people who homebrew, do not try this at home, okay? You need these guys to do it with you. You cannot do that at home. So, on to aerospace. Partnerships in aerospace bring not only Centennial, but the whole world together. In case you were not aware, the state of Colorado has the second largest number of employees in the aerospace industry, and 10% of those work right here in Centennial. Companies like United Launch Alliance, Seeker Engineering, and the Sierra Nevada Corporation, who although have a very large Centennial footprint, are looking forward to the day when they make their mark on the moon and on Mars. The Orion mission brings the excitement of manned missions back as part of our space program. These Centennial companies are leading our way into deep space, and a simple, overly simple way to illustrate what they do is this. United Launch Alliance builds the rockets that take us up into space. Seeker Engineering develops the components that makes our space capsules run. And Sierra Nevada Corporation builds satellite systems and communication systems that help keep them safe and do a lot for us, our safety here on the planet Earth. So it's pretty easy to get excited about the aerospace industry, especially when Centennial companies are such a big part of it. And to get the next generation excited about space, a local company, Worker Studio Animation, is launching a live-streamed show designed to pique children's interest in STEM. Well, really in STEAM, because it is an animated show. I'd like to introduce you to Cosmo.
The idea that kids are going to be able to interact with a cartoon character is pretty unique. It's something that I certainly would have loved as a kid, dreamed about.
I remember watching Sesame Street, and you occasionally, you'd see kids getting to talk to Grover or whoever, and thinking like, how'd that kid get to go?
Yeah, exactly.
On Sesame Street.
Yeah, and we're just using tools that are out there to do it, but trying to find kind of fresh and innovative ways to do that. And then the evolutionary components are that Cosmo will exist in VR and augmented reality. Mm-hmm. So Cosmo, where this is going is there's the live broadcast, and then there's also the ability to have Cosmo live streaming, just doing Facebook Live events, or be at the Alamo Draft House, and he can be live on the big screen talking to kids in the theater while they watch cartoons and stuff like that. So there's all of that, but then the augmented reality side of it's what's so exciting, because you can go into a museum and a kid can hold up an iPad and there's Cosmo talking directly to them while they're looking at the exhibits. So they're not living in an artificial world, they're living in the real world and seeing it augmented with Cosmo there to give them just explainers or to just get them interested in something, right? Say, hey, come over here and look at this. And then the kid goes over there and they're still interacting with the real world. That's the kind of thing we think is pretty important to us. As if we're going to create this content, we want it to be the most beneficial.
any relationship we've had with people at the city started from a place of innovation where, you know, they were talking about things like fiber, and we know that that's key for us to not just, you know, survive in our industry but excel at it, is to be able to tap those kind of resources. So when we initially found out that effort was there, we jumped on board, and I think it kind of solidified. We wanted to have every reason to stay here, to see that through and be able to take advantage of it.
Too, because we're using 3D technology, and we're also using kind of the latest in rendering techniques to be able to do this, because we're using real-time or close to real-time GPU rendering techniques, which have given us the ability to find this look. You know, for Cosmo's suit is, you know, the story concept is that his suit is this piece of technology that has existed once, right? And he's wearing it, so he has to keep it preserved. So we had to kind of find a look for what might that look like.
Yeah, and the look of Cosmo is, like you were saying, is that it's blending the future and the past of space exploration. It's key to innovating anything is to know what those parameters are and then to imagine
Think outside the box.
Yeah. Or just ignore the box.
Or just ignore the box entirely.
Yeah.
The simulcast experience for students will help expand their horizons and help them imagine the possibilities. And these are the two gentlemen right here that are making that happen. So what is Centennial looking to bring all this innovation and opportunity together? Our fiber backbone. In 2016, our council approved a $5.7 million fiber master plan and established the Fiber Works Commission in order to keep construction momentum going and to provide the technical resources needed to develop a leading infrastructure project. Our mission, to build a partner-ready piece of infrastructure that will not only give Centennial the ability to take advantage of innovative smart city technologies, but one that will make it ready to work for our stakeholders as well, whether it be the Sheriff's Department, the fire departments, the school districts, the library districts, or our special districts and rec districts. They will all benefit from this fiber optic network. And we put enough fiber in the ground so that our residents and businesses can take advantage of it as well and find fiber optic solutions that meet their needs. Dark fiber leasing presents the opportunity for businesses to build private networks as they need, and for businesses such as Ting to bring services to our business parks and our neighborhoods throughout Centennial. Take a look.
Works project is important to Centennial because it's really an investment in new infrastructure. We've talked about how it's a unique project and it's quite innovative in many ways, but it's also a considerable capital investment. So there's many reasons that we want to see it successful, and it's an investment over the long term. So it's not about necessarily finding success in years 1, 2, and 3. We're making this investment, and it's really a 30-year investment. That's how we look at it. So over the course of the long term for the city, I think there'll be a lot of win cases, a lot of great stories that will come from the vision that this council put to create this project, put this infrastructure in the ground, and then have the right leadership with the Fiber Commission behind it to help set policies and agree contracts that are required for us to work with our private sector and public sector partners. We're very pleased to say that construction-wise, we're ahead of schedule. The central ring around the city, which is about 20 miles, is completed. We are about 70% of our western ring completed, so virtually getting all the way out to nearly to Broadway at Littleton there. And we're just starting the construction on our east ring, which goes all the way out towards 470 on the east side of the city. It's a total of 50 miles, and our goal has always been to have the project completed before the end of 2018, and I think we're well on track to both complete the project build and be on track financially for the end of this year. And I think fiber is a wonderful long-term infrastructure, and there are many use cases to what fiber potentially can provide for. So we've talked about how fiber can serve the city from connecting its own sites, It can be a backbone and serving point for traffic signaling, and it can be an asset that we work with to lease from a community anchor institution perspective and with potential private sector partners and customers. A great example is how controlling your own fiber infrastructure can really be the foundation for smart city initiatives. So I don't quite know yet if everybody's figured out what the latest and greatest smart city initiative is going to be, but the fact that Centennial owns its own infrastructure can really provide a foundation to help support that. So as all the creative ideas around smart communities are being factored in and factored out, and there's a vision for smart communities, the fact that we pretty much can have an unlimited capacity from a fiber perspective to serve any of those initiatives really puts us in a very exciting position for any discussions we have with private sector companies that want to explore smart community projects with municipalities.
The exciting thing about FiberWorks is that it's infrastructure for the next generation. It will launch innovative ways for us to do things that we can't even imagine yet, but our kids can. And that's why it's very exciting to see Centennial-based Aero Electronics investing in the next generation to develop the developers. Aero is working with the Cherry Creek Schools Foundation to invest in students and teachers, providing them the tools and opportunities they need to think outside the box. Or as better stated, what box? Aero will be teaching teachers to teach innovation and how to develop innovator habits. We are thrilled to see this kind of investment in our community come from Aero. Aero has also tripled the size of its summer internship program in the last few years, offering 200 students an extraordinary opportunity. The City of Centennial is also partnering with Aero on several smart city initiatives that will be launched in 2018. We hope to find innovative pathways to improving traffic flow with the use of sensor technology to better illustrate road conditions and anticipate service needs. Please take a look at Aero.
Our brand that we established when we moved our headquarters here is centered around innovation. And our phrase is we guide today's innovators to a better tomorrow.
We are passionate about the fact that every student has the opportunity to have an innovative mind. And so we want a program that can provide that opportunity to every single one of our over 53,000 students. So it's really a systemic shift towards embracing innovation.
Not only is the Cherry Creek School District the school district of our headquarters community, but they've embraced innovation individually as well. They identify that students not only need to get good grades and get good test scores, but they need to learn and think differently and become innovators themselves. And we recognize that we had a common interest there. The generational change in technology is so rapid. And, our phrase at Aero, our tagline is 5 years out. Well, that's the tangible horizon and sort of the development arc of technology. 5 years ago you didn't have a Fitbit on your wrist, and now you do. And 5 years from now you'll have something else. And we work on those things. And that's how quickly it changes. 5 years from now, the very students that we're talking about, the high school students, are going to be graduating from college, and they're going to start applying to Aero. And so this innovation process that they're learning now will become very real for us in this 5 years out time frame. That's why it's important to us. That's why it's very natural for us to do this.
The school district, along with Aero, has made a huge investment in this program and feel that it's one of the tenets of where our school district is going.
How do you teach students to become innovators? And I think that there's two elements to that. One is developing the general habits of an innovator, the characteristics. And that's not really specific knowledge, that's more about being curious, being able to work collaboratively, being able to start with an idea and create something tangible at the end. So it's not just learning the facts, it's a very applied methods. And then at the same time, how do you teach the teacher that's where this training comes in. So that by the end of this experience, virtually all teachers and all students will be innovators themselves. The specific intention to develop a generation of innovators in this community is unique.
We do have those common goals, and it's those common goals that create opportunities for our kids and for our students to achieve.
We both believe in the same thing for the same future.
I want to thank everyone for being here today. Leaving here today, I hope you are just as excited as we are about the opportunities that innovation brings, not only to Centennial, but the entire region. When on your way out, please feel free to pick up one of our community profiles. It'll be up front as you walk out the door. We'd love for you to share it with your community. And I would also like to share with you what a great team of people we have working here at Centennial. They are excited to be a part of our city and work every day to find innovative solutions to the challenges we face. Before we go, I need to give a shout out to Allison Wittern, Lindsay Lack, and Kirsten Baldwin for their tireless work in putting all of this together. I really appreciate the time and energy you brought to this event. Centennial prides itself on doing business differently and being business friendly. I am proud of our Centennial community and how we work together. And we look forward to working with all of you in keeping our community connected. Thanks to you, the state of the city has never been better. Thank you.
Her with a bouquet in appreciation of all she does for the city of Centennial. Mayor Piko.